In the spirit of reconciliation, Grab the Trace acknowledges the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia and their connections to land, sea, and community. We pay our respects to their elders past and present and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples.
Hey everyone, welcome to the first episode of the Grab the Trace podcast, a home design show to help you deliver your next project to its full potential with road noise included. If you're looking for some design tips and secrets for your next project, be it building a new home, renovating, or even just picking what window furnishing would best suit your space, we've got you covered. Whilst we'll try to help as much as possible in this podcast, it is general in nature and won't be able to take into account your individual circumstance. So if you need personalised advice, you should engage a relevant and professional consultant to help make the best decisions for your situation. So stick around, pull up your plans, and let's grab the trace.
All right. Hello and welcome to our first podcast episode. I'm Michaela Garrick and my co-host...
Co-captain.
No, I like captain. There you go. Lachlan Anderson. So I guess I'm going to let Lockie take the...
I'll introduce myself first.
Yeah, you go first.
Hi, everybody. I'm Lachlan. I'm a baby architect. I've recently just been registered in Queensland. I'm the dad to two little dogs.
What are their names?
Their names are George and Gus.
Gorgeous.
And I'm in the tail end of my first renovation on a really old property out of Ipswich. And I guess the only other thing that would be somewhat relevant to this is that I also live in what you would call a project home, I guess, in terms of we bought a block of land, my wife and I, and by us I mean her. And then we built a home through a project builder called Coral Homes.
All right. As I said, I'm Michaela Garrick. I recently just got married. I have two little dogs as well, an 11-year-old little dash hound and a English Cocker Spaniel, both Oscar and Huey. I'm an interior designer. Don't know about baby interior designer, but I've been working at the same practice that Lockie is for 8 years now, or 7-8 years. Love what I do, love doing interior design. What else? A little bit about me. I am almost finished our second renovation. Me and my husband, we spent 12 months renovating our first house and kind of bought that, flipped it. And then we bought our forever home, I'd say, or mid-forever home for the moment, our 10-year home. We bought about 4 years ago and we're still going forever. But yeah, it's been a learning experience. Obviously being in the design industry and renovating has its moments. Also having an engineer as a husband also has its moments. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much what I do and what I'm about.
All right, to throw you in the deep end.
And
it's completely not on the show notes.
This is not on the
really
script.
Great.
Here we go.
Why do you think we're doing this show? Interesting to see what your thoughts are.
I guess I'm used to working obviously in an architectural practice and going for our clients from a multi-res perspective. I kind of wanted to help out the people who don't or can't necessarily have us as their designers or architects. It's for the average person being able to make those decisions that I do on the daily basis, at least in terms of interior design. And I guess giving that opportunity to the average Joe.
No, I agree. I'll read out what we had written down. The reason why we're doing the show is that definitely wasn't a cut, everyone. Don't worry about that. Is we want to make sure that everyone's better informed about something that we are involved in our day-to-day lives, in both a professional and a personal sense. So we want to kind of almost set this up as a bit of an open resource for all of you out there. Whether you are doing a renovation or you're trying to pick a new paint colour, to hopefully give you a bit of guidance, potentially, maybe save you a bit of time and money, definitely a lot of time, at least on my end, with the mistakes that I've made. And then we'll just kind of figure out what works, what we like. So if you've got like a certain vibe that you're after and it aligns with us, then this is going to be great for you. I've got a note in here saying that we'd like to talk to other industry professionals just to try and break it up a bit as well. So that way you're not kind of getting just us over and over kind of reiterating why we like sheer curtains. And we'll try and give some additional perspectives and then I guess answer any questions. I guess what we want in this first episode is just to introduce ourselves. So we've done that. And then probably even we've given a little bit of context about what we want the show to be, what you want to get out of it. And I guess the only other thing we want to do is just probably give a little bit of a glimpse in what we want to do immediately in the future. And I guess probably one of the first things that you would do in this situation is a bit of an icebreaker game. Everyone loves those when they go to university and you sit in the group with all the other people and have to do the classic ones like 2 truths and a lie.
Oh,
I love those
yuck.
ones, but we're going to keep it a little more simple. We're just going to give the kind of the best thing that we've personally done on a project, whether it be our homes or a project for a client. For instance, if we were going to buy a new house and design it from scratch, this would more likely than not be included in that. My kind of first thing, and it's now the second time I'm doing it, is where you've got existing floor coverings that don't quite work. When my wife and I built our project home, the kind of money wasn't there necessarily to splash out and go full hardwood timber floors. So we kind of opted for as nice, I guess the nicest
finish that your budget allows for.
Yeah, so we ended up going with a 300 by 600 tile in a really nice grey. After going through 2 winters in it as well and realising that our house didn't quite get as much light as we thought, and the tiles were very cold in the morning, especially when doing yoga in the morning.
Oh, you yogi.
Yeah, that was pretty rough. We decided to kind of delve into the deep end and go to Bunnings and have a look at the different floating timber floor options that they had. So being a guy who kind of has all the gear and no idea, immediately went out after buying 1 pack of the flooring to see what it looked like on the floor. I went and bought all the tools I'd need. So I went and bought probably $700-800 worth of tools and told Caitlin they were only $200 just to get it across the line. And we kind of went through the process of installing that and then made it more complicated for myself than it really needed to be by custom cutting scotia to go up against the existing skirting boards instead of just pulling them off because I didn't know what I was doing. In hindsight, that's a mistake. Pull the skirting boards up. It's not that big of a deal. And yeah, that's probably the key thing I'll do, especially if it's like an existing house and you don't have the scope to kind of go and rip everything up, or there's existing conditions, or say it's even in the property we're renovating at the moment at Ipswich, if it's a rental property, just something quick and easy that can be replaced down the line if you need to. So that's kind of my initial one. I mean, I'd slide in sheer curtains as well. I know we mentioned that earlier, but sheer curtains are the absolute shit. But I'll throw it over to Michaela now to see what she thinks.
All right. I think we're going to have so much opportunity to go into my favourite components of either a new build or a reno when it comes to like our clients or what I recommend. But in terms of my personal learning experience from our own renovations, I'm going to have to probably go with my top 3 is making the door heights instead of a standard like 2100, definitely going 2400 if it allows for it. So we were lucky enough in our existing area of our renovation. We had 2450 high ceilings, so we were still able to achieve. We're still able to achieve 2400 high doors. And then when it came to our extension and we went up to 2700 high ceilings, we still maintained that same height door. I think that just gives you, I don't know, it just feels a little bit more opulent. It's a small detail that just makes the space feel so much bigger. Even if you don't have the square meterage, adding that additional height in the doors just feels really nice and comfortable every time you enter in and out of a space. Second one is probably, something quite cost effective is skirting heights. I'm a big fan of going as high as possible in your skirting, and it just gives it that expensive kind of look on the cheap. So typically when you're looking like a project home, the standard is a 42 mil.
Yep.
I always like to kind of push it up to like a minimum 90 mil. Obviously, if you want to go a little bit luxe, I love a good 150, 180 high skirting. Again, with architraves, you can keep those pretty small. You can stick with your 42 or even like 66 mil architrave, but that high skirting makes it feel really opulent. Even if you've got standard size rooms, standard height ceilings, it just gives you that sense of opulence. My third and probably final, and again, it might be a little bit bougie to some, a little bit extra, but a built-in seat in the master ensuite in the shower. I am obsessed. I love it. It's great for the hangovers, but it's also just a bit of like a nice design tick. I feel like it makes it feel custom without actually being too expensive. You can tile it, you can do something pretty cost effective, but I feel like it's definitely on the bougie list.
To piggyback off that,
yeah.
Don't worry, we've got plenty of amazing episodes planned out. Like we're probably going to do 40, 50 minutes just on shower seats.
Let's bring the expectations down.
No, I'm thinking like probably a 2.5 hour episode on like shower seats when we get there. But if you can't, for whatever reason, do a shower seat, is the backup a built-in shelf or niche?
Oh, that's not even a backup. That's just a given.
That's also included.
That's
a
given.
Enough.
I feel like if you can introduce either a niche, obviously, into a wall, if it's a new build, you can kind of get those in pretty easily. In a reno, I always like to either do a full height wall inclusion and provide the niche within that, or even if it's dark, you don't have much natural light, I'm all for a nib wall with like a fixed glass panel above. It's going to give you kind of the best of both worlds. Wherever you place that glass, you can use that as a nib wall, as a shelf as well, if you can't get that niche in there. Also, another thing, can I do 4?
You can do 4. You can do 4. You do 4 as long as I can do an extra one as well.
Yeah,
but
done.
I've immediately just realised upon saying that my third one was the niche.
So I stole the thunder.
No, I stole my own thunder.
Well, there we go. No, is drum roll, skylights. It's actually not as expensive as people think. Everyone's like, oh, it's way too expensive, way too out there. It's actually just a fixed bit of glass. So if you feel that you can put a window in, they can easily put a fixed piece of glass in the roof. Obviously with waterproofing, there's issues there, but I feel like it's 100% worth the cost. If you can't get natural light in through a window, if it's a renovation, obviously, and you're kind of fixed with a floor plan, get that natural light in through the roof.
That's how you do it.
Boom.
Oh, I love that. And as I said, I don't have another one. I've completely stuffed myself over here. So.
Oh, sheer curtains, remember?
Yeah, I think I already said that one as well.
Yeah, but installation, I feel like if you ceiling mount sheer curtains, you do it the whole length of a wall.
These are so many good episodes we're coming up with. For those at home, we've already figured out what our Christmas episode is when we get there.
Oh,
so stay tuned
out,
for
guys.
that. It's going to be great.
A few months.
The next thing that I had, at least just to fill a bit of time and kind of put it out there, was, and I'm not sure if this is on there, but if you were to pick one existing Instagram page that kind of really is your vibe, if you catch me, like something that you're really vibing on. We're currently going on a live Instagram dive for Michaela.
I am.
So this is going to be amazing. She's actually got one of the best Pinterest curations that I've ever seen.
The pressure.
So we'll see what makes it there. I mean, is it going to be Madeline Blanchfield? Is it going to be Mim Design? Who knows? Where are we?
Stop, he's stealing all my favourite interior designers. He knew this. He already went scavenging on my Pinterest. No, I actually recommend Establish Living is a great tool because obviously they kind of highlight all of our favourite architects and interior designers, and they kind of do like every day they'll put like a new residence or a new place. You can even search whether that's multi-res or residential, commercial. They kind of do it all. And I feel like that's a great base to be able to look at multiple projects with multiple architects and designers.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, they also have a kick-ass Instagram as well, so you're welcome.
Sorted out, everyone.
Done.
Similar vein, Hunting for George. Michaela just mouthed that as I was saying it. She knew it was coming. Watching their Renault stuff's been really nice. And then quite frequently I save their little things on Instagram when they put up different inspos. So that's my pick for today.
Nice.
I'm going to save the other ones for the future because I have a plan, but we'll see how we go there.
Okay.
So I guess we've given enough of ourselves now to kind of give you the vibe. So I guess what we want to do is we want to just give a brief glimpse forward and potentially even pick what we want to do next episode in terms of we'll actually pick a topic and go forward. So some of the initial ones that I've like kind of mapped out was we could do like a whole episode on like window furnishings. What's the best? Are we doing plantation shutters? Are we doing roller blinds? Are we doing sheer curtains? Are we doing a combination of them? Are we motorized? Do we have the little rope tie back things for your curtains?
Rope tie back? Are you like 80?
No. I'm a male. So it comes out like that.
Okay, I think I'll be talking a lot through that
episode.
Yeah.
I'll be along for the ride. We'll have an electrical masterclass. How high do you need to put things? Where do you need to put them? How many is too many? Things to look out for.
Or colours. I feel like
Colours would be
colours.
good.
I feel like people get lost and they go, oh, that's a nice white, and they end up with a baby pink house. I've seen it.
I like that.
It's been done.
But probably the front runner, and let's vibe this one out, and you can already see it on the show notes.
I can.
I think probably the best spot to start would be with the mood.
Oh, 100%.
How do we create a vibe? How do we like take things from Instagram or Pinterest or Google or different publications or wherever? How do you take them and actually like build a theme that you want to use? Like, what do you pick?
Yeah, I think, again, Pinterest is a huge tool that even professionals use, the everyday person uses. I feel like sticking to a singular theme. I think when you're designing a dream home or your first home or your renovation, this is huge amounts of money and stress and pressure on getting it right, that I feel like you've only got the one opportunity, so everyone wants to get everything they love in one go, where it just ends up being an absolute cluster of what half the husband likes, half the wife likes, what they can put up with.
Yeah, seeing the compromises is always amazing, where someone's fought very hard for something and then just had to fold.
Yeah, it's just the clash of styles, where if you kind of keep reverting back to this mood board, no matter how far down the line of your renos or your house build that you get, always referring back to those mood board images and why you like them, I think is just key, and it's going to give you a holistic vision at the end.
Oh, I love that. I guess the other thing is when you're doing mood boards, and like we'll pick up from this next episode. I think we've made our mind up.
Yeah, we're done.
Would you, just to help everyone, maybe if someone wants to do a little bit of homework, how much is too much? Are you trying to pick probably 3 or 4 themes, or like 3 or 4 elements that you really want, and then you just kind of find complementary things to go in there?
Again, I don't want to go into like too much detail, because again, we can talk about this for an entire episode. But again, going on Pinterest, or going on Established Living, or going on Hunting for George, like all of these websites, every time I feel a person can look at an image and they just go, oh, I just love Hampton style. And then everything associated with that, it's just they keep picking images that has the white shaker profile door, or they keep coming to the subway tile, or they like brush brass tapware or fittings and fixtures. And it's just they keep picking those same selections from every image that they look at. And then you'll kind of get a clear indication already. If you look at 50 kitchen images and you're picking out 20 of them and they all have the same colors, the same finishes, they all have the same marble or the same designs, you're already giving yourself, I guess, a structure that you love. So I don't know, I'll go into it more.
I think that's it. That's all you get. That's all you get this week, everyone.
Teaser
that's
preview.
That's the amuse-bouche of next episode, everyone. I hope I used that one right. So we're now at the end. We don't have any music as of yet, but Robbie, who sits next to me in the office, has promised he'd do it for free. So I'm taking that.
Oh, we have to give him credit, full name,
yeah,
please.
we will be providing attribution for him. So I guess the only other things we want to sign off with here as we close everything down is we do have the Instagram set up, Grab the Trace. We've got a Gmail set up as well. I think it's grabthetrace@gmail.com. I was very quick to get in on that before someone else did. You know, the DMs are open, guys. Slide in, say hey,
shoot us questions.
Shoot us questions.
Yeah, and we can give you a shout out, answer your question for you, go into as much detail as you like.
Leave a review on the whatever platform this ends up getting uploaded to, potentially Apple Podcast and Spotify. I don't know if you can review things on Spotify, but if you can, that's great. Leave us a review there and we'll read those out. Thank you all for listening. No one is left in the office with us now, so it's nice and quiet. Thank you very much for your time, Michaela.
Oh, thank you, Lockie.
We'll see everyone next time.
See you guys.
Bye.